Mike and Billy.
Well, good morning. Good morning and welcome in. What do you think, Mike?
That's pretty good, Gary.
There you go. Welcome to our
Pretty good.
annual Halloween show. For 19 years, Golf Talk Radio has brought you its annual Halloween show. If you've been with us before, you kind of get the gist of what we're trying to do, but it's pretty cool. We talk about facts and disfigurements, golf-related injuries, accidents, and even deaths, something you don't usually talk about in the industry, but with the spirit of the spirits of Halloween, we thought we would do this, and it's got positive reviews in the past. Golf is a wonderful and relatively safe game, but this is the only time of year that we really do talk about this. So I think you'll have a lot of fun. We'll share some stories, some things we found through some research and personal stories that's happened to each one of us. My name is Billy Gibbs. That guy right over there is Mr. Mike Brabenick. How's your Halloween show started so far today, buddy? How are you, man?
Is it
okay?
I'm good. It's been a wonderful morning already.
Well, I'm glad to see you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hop, welcome in. How are you, sir?
I'm peachy.
He's a little nervous right now.
Oh, it's nothing to be worried, nothing to be nervous about. So.
Yeah,
I'm a little tired. I was
Party?
running a sports station, and we had the
you're
the
Dodger game?
Yeah, making sure the Dodger game dumped out of our station.
Wow.
So 7 hours of baseball plus running a high school baseball game or football game here last night. So
I was 16 innings and then just remembered that's it. So I had to wake up this morning and look.
I was done at 13,
I
which
got
might be
16
why
in.
that might be why I'm having some issues this morning. I ended on
What time did
13.
it end? I know it ended 18th inning, but what time was that?
it was just after midnight.
God, so okay, was it?
That's insane.
Yeah, it was over. It was an over 7 hour long baseball.
So is that
game.
the longest game on record? Do you know?
It was the longest World Series
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yep.
But we'll take it easy on you. But if you have any stories you'd like to share, or anything that contributes to this show, we'd love to have you join in at any time. We have most every show we start with the Mike and Billy, the BM in the morning, and we have a special soundbite for you that we're going to play. So I hope you enjoy it, and we will discuss afterwards. So if you will, sir. Fire away.
Had such great patience, and it was really a wonderful champion and did so much for golf. And my favorite story, we're playing in Japan, and we're on this green, and it's a big TV show, and the crowds were just all around the green, and Arnold, unfortunately, he had a big poop on the green, and so I started to laugh, and he walked away, and this Japanese umpire, the referee of the match, came up to me and said, "Player son, Mr. Player, no poop on green." I said, "No, it wasn't me. It was Palmer." He says, "No, Palmer never poop on green. Palmer, king, he never do it." There you are.
Oh, man. I thought you told us you were going to clean up that story for us.
Well, it's, bees do it, so we do it to hang with anybody who doesn't do it.
We move on.
I'd like to meet him.
3 times Masters.
All right.
Well, we found that very interesting soundbite. What do you think, Hop? Now, that was Gary Player, Hall of Famer Gary Player, discussing around the golf he played with the King, Arnold Palmer, in Japan.
Is that a verified story? Like, did Arnold drop trout and just defecate on a golf green?
We're doing GTR investigate.
Yeah, so
we're not making any statements here.
Assumptions?
Assumptions.
Yeah,
Yes, we are not.
But we were talking yesterday because we listened carefully to the story, and we were wondering at what level player would that be acceptable at, like Mike's course? Is it the top 10 in the tour? Are you allowed to go drop chow and just there you go and leave a loose impediment and move on? When do you stop that? And Mike, you really didn't have an answer to that because could Phil just walk up? He wouldn't. I don't think Phil would. He might spray.
I guess the question is on everybody's moral being, like in their moral compass, like. Is it just the top 5 tour players in the world that could do that? Is it the top 10? Is it the top 20?
When do you bring attention to it and say, "I'm sorry, sir, that's not allowed"?
Yeah.
I mean, if you had your Tiger walking up there and just all of a sudden plop, and then he moves on to the next hole, is that something you bring to the attention? Mr. Woods, I'm sorry, that's just not allowed. Or do you go down the money list to anybody below the 125? Hey, Hendrick.
And I'm guessing he didn't do it directly on the green. I'm thinking that since nobody seemed to witness this.
Well, there's a big crowd around. the umpires.
Why wouldn't you go? There's not a bush. There's not a tree. There's not a.
Well,
you can't get 5 of your friends to stand back to back so you form a circle around you.
I think my theory is correct.
I think it's gamesmanship. That's what I think. I think.
Well, Getty's son.
I think Gary did
no,
something.
the king no pool.
I think Gary did something, and then Arnold's like, "I'm going to show you," and he just put a loose impediment down there and said, "Let's see how you deal with that one."
That just seems really.
What if Patrick
weird.
Reed? You think he's spraying bushes? I mean, you think he's over there just watering the plants?
I think Patrick's pretty free.
So you think he's dropping?
I think he's free. I think, and again,
have either one of you people, you two gentlemen that have been on golf courses, have you ever been caught short on a course and just dropped trowel right there on a green?
Never on it.
No. Not on. Definitely not.
Definitely
on
no, you would never do that.
But I would hunt out. If I had to, I'd run off and find a bush or go. There's thousands of people watching these guys. So I have a theory, and I thought about it coming up here because that is an actual interview with Gary Player at the Masters this
That's
past
what's
year
crazy.
when they lost Arnold. That might have been 2 years ago. Whenever they lost Arnold, they was talking about how Arnold affected the Masters.
This might even be from 2014.
And Gary's in his Masters coat at the interview talking about an experience, his favorite Arnold Palmer story. I have a feeling that he passed gas, and that's what Gary was referring to, that he pooped on green. So, no, Mr. Palmer don't poop, you poop. Doesn't that make more sense around a bunch of crowd, right?
I think
he's bending over to line up a putt and a little
From what I can see here, this is dated 2014.
Yeah, that's what I saw too.
So, we just thought it was a great story for BM in the morning, and it opens all kinds of orifices to figure out what really happened. But it's hard to comprehend that the king, but he's the king. So is the king. It's like does the king go unnoticed? It's like the king that didn't wear clothes, right?
So I have another theory, depending on
right?
on how long ago this was.
Well, yeah. Well, if it was Japan and Gary playing, and those
Let's
guys,
say
it was back in the '60s.
I was going to say, okay.
Much more acceptable.
Because in the '60s, everybody
dropped trout pooping on greens.
All the guys, no, I shouldn't say all the guys, but you hear the stories about back in the '60s and '70s, and we've talked about it, how much they drank, how much they partied. You're in Japan.
But I could see barfing on the side of
Maybe
the green.
he's not quite used to the Japanese cuisine that's there, and he's just got an emergency. And I agree with you. I don't think it was actually on the green. I bet
he says the words on the green.
It might have been next to the green. Like he had such an emergency. He's like,
impediment?
I gotta drop it. It's like I can't stop it.
It's happening.
It's happening. It's a runaway freight train. It's coming out. I don't want to ruin my pants. And
he had those good Sansa belts too.
That's what I mean.
And it might be why he hitched his pants all the time. Remember, Palmer's known for his pants hitch. If you look at any video of him when he's hitching up them pants, maybe that's a sign. Maybe he has irritable bowel syndrome. We don't know.
We don't know.
We just don't know certain things.
It might have been some sushi that wasn't real good the night before.
Yeah.
Too much wasabi.
And all of a sudden, a spring roll or summer roll. California spicy roll.
Some dynamite.
Yeah. So anyways, I thought it was an interesting story that Gary Player shared, and as our crack team is going to do more research, aren't we? I think we need to know. I think it was a busting of the wind.
Inquiring minds want to know.
I just think it was a wind bust.
I had to look at this video several times because I'm like, okay, they edited that. There's
and then
no way.
Said, I thought you were going to clean it up. Remember the guy asking questions? I thought we weren't going there.
Yeah.
So maybe which leads back to thinking he really did leave a loose impediment. Although it's nature, maybe it's not a loose. Well, it would be a loose impediment. It wouldn't be.
Is that a penalty?
No, I think you can move it if it's in your way.
No, a penalty by Arnold.
If it's delay a game only, I think So what if you're down there lining up a putt and all of a sudden, like you said, sushi attack?
Can you get penalized for damaging a green?
I think it's bad etiquette.
Like with a club?
With any question, I think there's a lot of bad etiquette there. I would assume.
If somebody swipes at a ball, like when it's next to the hole, like it just got left there, and they kind of cut the cup with their putter by accident.
I don't know if it's a breach of your conduct. Player conduct. So you could be.
I
don't know if you could be stroke penalized as much as financially penalized.
Yeah.
But Mr. Palmer didn't do it, according to the official. Gary did it. No king. He don't poop. You poop, right? Did he say that?
He said that, but I'm trying to figure
I
out
think-
why would he?
Gary's like, no, it was Arnold. No, it wasn't.
But why would he even bring up the story if it was him?
Oh, he wouldn't. I know.
Gary wouldn't bring up the story if it was him.
But Japan loved the king. Mr. Palmer was
Maybe it was someone from the gallery.
that snuck on the green.
You know, this is like a game of Clue.
Snuck on the green.
You got the gallery,
Did
you
a
got
plop.
Palmer, you got player,
Yeah,
you got the caddies.
It could have been mystery pooper.
You turn this into a game.
It really could have been a mystery. You're right. It could have been an outside agency.
Like he said, there was all those people around. You
It was
have
an
no
outside
idea.
agency.
Yeah.
I think you're right. It could
But
have been.
wouldn't you think that a guy of Arnold Palmer's stature, if he did that on a golf course, that would be a story of legend?
Yes.
It wouldn't just be a story that suddenly cropped up in 2004 after he's dead.
Well,
that's why I kind of doubt that it's anything that heinous. I can't
That
see
what?
that heinous.
Oh, heinous.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
I can't. I just can't see that
Well,
happening.
you know, and there was no cameras obviously back then. There's no cell phones and going on, and you know, and Gary is reflecting on a story that he remembers and probably felt good enough to share that after Mr. Palmer passed. And maybe he didn't. Arnold, don't you talk about this, man. This is between us and the 10,000, Japanese people that were watching. But I don't know. That's the big mystery. I like Mike's. So my theory, it was gas. And he used that word. And your theory is could have been an outside agency or planted. It could have been a planted bomb kind of a thing. Probably a bad choice of words. This time.
Maybe it was one of those fake poops.
It could have been one of those fake poops.
Like
That's
they're just
gamesmanship.
joking
like
around.
the rubber snake thrown
You know
at
what I mean?
Nicholas.
I could see that. I'm serious. I could totally
He
see
came
that.
out of his bag, laid down the dog,
Yeah.
the plastic poop that everybody has.
And the Japanese culture, they just don't get it.
And they don't get
get that humor.
Dude,
right?
in my culture, I don't get that.
A fake poop?
a fake poop. Oh, come on,
Okay,
Yeah.
fake.
No, fake, not
Yeah.
real. No,
A fake
not
one.
real. I'm
But-
talking about like the fake ones.
And
I've
they
had
just
my
didn't
sister
understand. Maybe they
do that to me
Japanese
before.
didn't realize that we had such a thing in our amazing country that we were so advanced that we created fake dog poop. I mean, that was a big moment in life.
That's right, out there with producing the nuclear bomb.
They were out. They were out making transistors and things while we're making fake poop. It says a lot. Actually, explains a whole lot. But anyways, very interesting topic. And if you're joining us now, this is
So
our
far,
annual-
I'm loving the Halloween show.
Yeah, we're going to get into some facts and disfigurements, golf-related accidents, injuries, and deaths. It's a time of year that actually in the golf industry, which we both are and love, it's there's things you don't talk about. But people get hurt a lot. Statistics show that golf is more dangerous than rugby
Excuse
and
me.
boxing. Strictly because of numbers, though. There's 30 million golfers. I doubt there's 30 million boxers out there. But there are more injuries, and you wouldn't believe how 40,000 golfers seeked emergency treatment due to head injuries this year alone, or 17, excuse me, by errant golf balls or flying club heads. 40,000 people this year went to emergency rooms with head injuries, and that doesn't count carts, which we'll get into later.
I've already got that feeling in my stomach, which usually comes around the beginning of the second
Don't
hour.
be pooping in
No.
the studio here.
No, I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
right
no
now.
pooping. It's no poop studio.
No, I'm going to the bathroom.
All right, let's take us on a break, a much-needed break. Hop, I hope you're feeling better. Thank you for sharing that soundbite
Thank
with
you,
us.
Hop. All right, we'll be right back. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy, brought to you by TaylorMade Golf. Check out the latest from TaylorMade Golf at TaylorMadeGolf.com. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy.